And it is Aidan Quinn. Gosh, Aidan Quinn, I've enjoyed your work so much in so many things. But to play Teddy Roosevelt, you tell me it's called The American Guest. What attracted you to this?
Well, he's the most amazing character. It was a beautifully written script by the great-great-grandson of Charles Darwin that deals with the things that are so important today. It's what Biden is fighting for today in trying to get a climate summit. I mean, Teddy Roosevelt was talking about these things 100 years ago. He was responsible for saving 260 million acres in our country, and I don't think anyone's done more for the environment. But it's just an incredible story with great actors, and it was quite a challenge to do it in the Amazon. But we did it.
As I understand it, and I'm going to use this phrase, and you tell me if I'm wrong, he's essentially the father of the national parks, is he not?
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, in the national parks, a lot of the game preserves, you know, on and on and on. I mean, we wouldn't have much clean air if it wasn't for Teddy Roosevelt, you know?
In terms of going to the Amazon, this is always a big decision. This isn't the universal backlot with a couple extra palm trees. You guys actually went.
We did indeed. I promised my wife 30 years ago, because I did another movie that was supposed to take 3 months in the Amazon. 30 years ago, I Play in the Fields of Glory. I'd never go back because that movie took 6 months. But it takes place in the Amazon. It's about his journey down there, and he hooks up with a Brazilian explorer, and they're exploring the uncharted parts of the Amazon. And it's about the cultural differences between the Brazilians and the Americans, and how they both come together in the end with their love of science and nature to try and protect this remarkable place. And it flashes back to his time as a president. And we have the wonderful Dana Delaney, who plays my wife, and a lot of great actors.
Well, I tell you what, I believe this clip is from that presidential time, or campaigning at the very least. Look at this.
I don't know whether you fully understand that I have just been shot. But it takes more than that to kill a bull moose. Fortunately, I had my manuscript, so you see, I was going to make a long speech. And there is a bullet, well, there is where the bullet went through.
Now, is that based on a real incident?
That is a completely real incident. He was shot right before he was about to give his last speech in the 1912 campaign. And being a hunting man, he knew that because he coughed and there was no blood coming through his mouth, that it hadn't gone all the way to his lungs. And he insisted on giving that speech. It's a 90-minute speech that he gave that, if you just look it up, it's the most incredible speech. I mean, they don't make them like that anymore.
I'll say, again, a figure like this who's been, you know, certainly many biographies existed. Did you really immerse yourself in research to try to figure out who Teddy Roosevelt was?
Absolutely. I drowned myself in every biography, every book I could get, every Audible, because you could take 50 years studying him. He wrote 36 books himself. So yes, I did all that. I was lucky that I got to have a dentist help me make his teeth, and also, you know, there was a great script. So that was the template.
One other thing going on for you, a movie opposite Liam Neeson called Blacklight. Tell us about that.
Right. Well, that's a fun movie. We got to shoot in Australia during COVID. We had to do the 2-week quarantine thing, but then once we got out of that, it was completely no masks, no nothing, because at that time there was no COVID in Melbourne. I play the head of the FBI. We're good friends, and something goes awry between us, and we go at loggerheads, and it was a lot of fun to shoot. It was a wonderful script, and great to work with Liam again.
Aidan, when you look at it, you probably don't do this, but what guys like me do, your IMDb page, you have worked steadily and in really good stuff for such a long time. As younger actors look up to you, is there a piece of wisdom or advice? Why has it gone so well for so long?
Well, my advice is always, if you can, just do theater early. Because if you do theater and you do different roles in theater, you know, you learn how to do different characters and that, and it helps you with your instrument and all that kind of stuff. and just keep working and try to make your own work. Don't wait around for the phone to ring, because and that's what I think young people are doing more and more. And I'm very inspired by them. You know.
Well, gosh, people are doing their own work and now have different implements to do their own work, their phones
Yes.
and everything else.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot easier to do it than when we were younger, but just do it, because, you know what you can do, and you can't wait for someone to call you. You have to just try to get out there and just make it happen.
All right, sage advice there. We'll leave it there, Aidan. It's really good to speak to you. The American Guest, available
Great.
on HBO Max. Blacklight, that movie with Liam Neeson, drops in theaters in February 2022. Boy, he's such a good actor. He's been in such good stuff. That was really fun. All right.